We are living in strange times. The UK election approaches, and from where I'm sitting, all the candidates, it appears to me, are lacking. All their ideas are lacking. And I've recently read the outline for a book that's coming next year by Chief Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, and it made a great impact on me. In it, he argues that we have lost our moral compass. He is, of course, a religious leader, but there's a way in which it's not really a religious book. The candidates that are now putting forward their ideas, and obviously Brexit is dominating everything, but there are other ideas, seem to have lost sense of the idea of unity, of community, or of community spirit, of cultural unity. And indeed, over the last 10 years of Tory rule, but going much further back than that, that, it seems to me, is the problem with our country at the moment. It is, as Rabbi Sacks talks about in his book, a question of we seem to have moved from the we to the I, ego, and our own selfish, competitive drives are what is driving the country, is what we think we need to attend to first. Instead of, and obviously this is a religious idea, but it's also one which is just common sense when living in a community, as we all do, instead of looking out for the other. The Conservatives have ripped the heart out of that idea of looking out for each other. The sense that, yes, we can be individually prosperous, but the sense that a community, that a society, that a country, a state can only really survive if it looks after its weakest and most unfortunate members. Yes, we all need to develop our talents, and we all want to prosper economically, but it's about prospering socially. It's about bringing up and accepting that some people bad luck strikes. Some people are born into poverty. Some people are hit by illness, and that we all can't just pay our way out of it. That we need to contribute, that we should be grateful that we are given the opportunity to contribute. And that is a moral thing. That is morally a good thing to do, and that it is morally beneficial for the whole of society. And all these political movements of populism, of Brexit, are all based on individual, I-driven motives, taking back our sovereignty from others, the other, a narrowing of our views, that other people can't decide for us, that they're not going to decide in our best interests, and that we can do better on our own. What sort of falsehood is that? What sort of society do we want to live in where we give up the opportunity to work together as big communities, as small communities, where we put trust and hope and expectation in others. That is what the political contract is all about. And yet, can we only put trust and hope in people who speak the same language as us, as people who have the same skin colour as us, people who have the money that enables them to buy their way into these positions of power? Is that all we require from these people? When we give up on the moral imperative of looking after others, of the we instead of the I, on the social community, on the helping those less fortunate than ourselves, whether they're people who cannot afford food, or people who are born into poverty, who are people who are struggling through crime, or prisoners. When we give up on these people, when we literally throw the key away on these people and just are interested in our own self-interest, then society as a whole is in danger of collapsing. This is what the Bible tells us. This is what, when it talks about turning away from God, that is the message. It's not God, some bearded person sitting on a cloud. It's about turning away from each other. It's about pursuing ends for our own benefits, short-term benefits. It's why the world is in the state it's in at the moment. It's why we see the rise of populism, why we see the persecution of others. And people need to stand up for this. People need to step out of their comfort zone and join things and do things in the community and fight for this. I shall be voting Labour this election. I'm not wholly comfortable with that. I'm certainly not comfortable with the extreme policies that they are suggesting. I'm certainly not comfortable with their hatred of different ideas. I'm certainly not comfortable with the anti-Semitism that seems to be rife within the party. However, there is a sense, I think, within the Labour Party, as there has been for many years, of social justice, of working for equality. So I shall be voting Labour. And I hope people take up the baton. And I hope people over the next few years, over the coming years, can learn to vote, because I think voting Labour is not a vote for myself. It's a vote for the people of Britain. It's a vote for the community, rather than voting Tory, which would be a vote for myself. I'm sure I would probably get tax cuts. I'm sure I, would benefit in certain senses. But that's not what this is about. This is about society as a whole. And we need to start thinking about society as a whole. Thank you.